Thank you for inviting me to testify today. As Senior Vice President for Litigation at AARP Foundation, I am honored to speak on behalf of AARP, which advocates for the 125 million Americans aged 50 and older. Retirees depend on their retirement accounts in order to live, and America is facing a retirement crisis. Most adults worry about having enough money to be financially secure in retirement, and Congress should focus on ensuring their retirement savings are protected. The Supreme Court's recent decision in Cunningham versus Cornell is much more than a technical interpretation of ERISA. It is a strong reminder of Congress's intent to protect the retirement security of millions of hardworking Americans. We've moved away from the old days of guaranteed pensions to plans like 401ks, where folks are now expected to shoulder more of the responsibility and bear the risk for their own retirement. That's why ERISA exists, to make sure the people managing these plans play by the rules. They're required to put workers first, act with common sense, and handle your hard-earned savings with prudence, loyalty, and care. For everyday retirees, these protections are not abstract. They mean the difference between a dignified retirement and financial hardship. When plan managers cut corners, like pushing high-fee investments or ignoring costs, it can drain tens of thousands of dollars from a worker's retirement savings over time. When fiduciaries prioritize their own interests, savers suffer lower returns and face higher costs. ERISA gives savers the power to fight back and ensure accountability. The Supreme Court's unanimous decision, let me repeat that, unanimous decision in Cunningham reaffirms ERISA's foundational promise. Plan fiduciaries must act prudently and loyally, and beneficiaries' only redress is often meaningful access to the courts to enforce those duties. The court made it clear, to state a claim under ERISA, a plaintiff need only plausibly allege the elements of a prohibited transaction, just like any other case. The burden of proving exemptions belongs to the defendant, as Congress intended. This restores the balance between everyday Americans and large financial firms, ensuring that allegations of conflicted transactions receive judicial scrutiny rather than being dismissed on technicalities. Why does this matter? Because ERISA is not just a statute, it is a promise that when workers put their hard-earned money into retirement plans, those assets will be managed prudently and loyally. If unnecessary procedural barriers prevent claims from being heard, that promise is broken. The significance of this decision cannot be overstated. For most Americans, the retirement savings represent their life's work. Take one of our clients, Brian Byrne, for example. Brian was a retirement saver who alleges his plan fiduciaries violated their obligations by carrying out prohibited transactions. For Brian, a disabled veteran, the accumulated losses could be life-changing. When companies mismanage retirement assets and seek to maximize their own profit by charging people like Brian exorbitant fees, they jeopardize the retirement security of older adults, particularly harming low and moderate income workers. There are millions of other Brians out there. Some have claimed that the Cunningham decision will invite a flood of so-called frivolous ERISA lawsuits, burdening plans and fiduciaries. These concerns are overstated and ignore the data. Far from being frivolous, these cases often uncover real harm, leading to reforms like fee reductions and improved investment menus. That is not a decision to be taken lightly to bring a case in the first place. The people who pursue these cases are doing so to recover money that was siphoned away by those they entrusted to look after it. It is money that is rightfully theirs. Giving workers the right to fight back isn't a threat to retirement security. It's the very thing that protects it. Congress should stand firm and reject any attempt to pile more burdens on America's working class or weaken their ability to enforce their rights. AARP urges the subcommittee to make sure participants can protect their hard-earned life savings under ERISA, keeping fiduciaries honest and fostering a more secure retirement system for all Americans. Thank you for holding this hearing and allowing me to speak. I look forward to answering your questions.